All right, welcome back. In this video, we'll go over the potential setups, some good setups, some bad setups over the last 24 hours using the Virgin Wick theory. I did have one win. I had one trade, one win in the last 24 hours, and we'll go over that one as well. So, yeah, this is where we're trading. We're waiting for Chad candles to close through Virgin Wicks, creating your bullish point of interest. Then you drop down to the lower time frame and wait for price to trade below the point of interest into a higher time frame fair value gap, followed by an inversion to the upside. Or sometimes you can even take a change in state of delivery back to the upside, which I'll go over. But let's start with gold. This was during yesterday's Asia session, 11 p.m. So 10 p.m. candle closes through this Virgin Wick, creating a bullish point of interest. Then you drop down to the 1 minute time frame. Boom, POI gets engaged. And you do have a confirmed IFVG there, as you can see. So if you were to take this, that's where you would enter. You can put your stop just below the entry candle and you can target these highs for 1.7R. But I didn't take it, and as you may know, I only like to take it if we tap into a higher time frame fair value gap. So in this case, there is a 5 minute gap there that I would like to see taken out for me in order to take this trade, but as you can see, we did not. And so he ends up getting stopped out. So good fade there. And yeah, if you'll notice, as soon as we tap into that higher time frame fair value gap, price then absolutely rockets and takes out these Asia highs. So yeah, I mean, just goes to show how powerful these gaps are and how important they are as a confluence to my higher time frame narrative right now. So that was a good loss that we avoided. There was another one. There was a good trade here at 3 a.m. So let's go there, 3 a.m. Yeah, so this is from what I call a mature POI, which is a POI that is still active after the hour ends. So you get this bearish close through this Virgin Wick, creating your bearish point of interest. Then you can drop down to the 1 minute time frame, wait for the POI to get engaged. Nothing yet, nothing yet. Now, as you can see, the hour ends and the POI has still not been engaged. It has still not given a rejection of it. And it does not look like we are going to create any bullish points of interest, any conflicting POIs. So I've talked about this in the last couple of videos, but in this instance, the POI still remains valid. Its powers are still intact, as I would like to say. So we do tap into it. We get a small rundown, but haven't really broken any structure, so no real change in direction. And then we go ahead and tap into some higher time frame FVGs. Tapped into another one. And then you do get your IFVG confirmation. So that's where you would enter your short. You can put your stop at the high and target 2R as always. Personally, I did not take this because I believe I did see the alert and I looked at the chart and I saw that there was no current point of interest. So I didn't give it any attention. I just brushed it off. But yeah, upon reviewing it and looking closely, I would say this POI is still valid because we never really had price deliver off it and no new points of interest have been created. So that's a very valid trade, a very valid A+ trade in my opinion. And as you can see, we just end up dumping pretty far down off this 5 minute gap. So yeah, pretty nice, but I missed that one. And then there was one more on gold during New York. So yeah. Okay, so 9 a.m. candle closes through this and through this and through this. So those are your POIs. Then let's have a look at what happens from 10 a.m. Sorry, from 9 a.m. Sorry, these are bullish. They shouldn't be red. That might be confusing. Okay, so POIs have been engaged. No entry function yet, but we are chopping up and down quite a bit. So yeah, I did not take this, if I didn't mention that already. First reason is, yeah, it's just like super choppy. We are under the POIs, but it's just going back and forth. So you do end up getting a confirmed bullish IFVG signal here, and we have engaged the bullish POIs. But when we did make that IFVG, there was no higher time frame fair value gap. We're just short of tapping back into that 5-minute gap. So that's another reason I don't like it. And then the last reason is, if you look at this on the right, if you can see this CCT indicator that shows just the hourly candles. So it's pretty much just the 1 hour, but on my 1-minute chart. As this hour is about to end, it looks like we are very close to creating some bearish points of interest. So this current candle is about to close through 1, potentially 2 or 3 virgin wicks, which will then change our bias to the downside, which will conflict with the idea of this trade, which is why I do not like this. So if you do enter, you would put your stop just down there. You can target these highs, something like that. But as you can see, yeah, so we did end up closing the hour below these wicks, as you can see, shifting momentum to the downside. And as you can tell, this trade did not end up playing out. So good fade there. All right, now onto NQ. All right, so here we're looking at NQ from yesterday's Asia. On the 1 hour chart at midnight, we get a bullish close through this point of interest. Sorry, this virgin wick, creating your bullish point of interest. So wait, is that right? Ah, yes. Yeah. POI gets engaged. All right, let me get rid of this. POI gets engaged from the start of the hour. We dip just below it, and then we get a pretty strong reversal to the upside. And we do end up taking out these highs. So that would have been the original target. And we also end up taking out these Asia highs, which are all these equal highs stacked here. So from this point onwards, I would consider the target for the hour done. I would consider this POI already used. Its powers have already been used up. So then I wouldn't consider anything else from the rest of this hour. But if you do look, once this loads, you do end up tapping into a 5-minute fair value gap, followed by an IFVG. So if you were to enter, you could enter there, put your stop just below the IFVG and target these highs for 1.64R. But again, like I said, I don't like it because I feel like the powers have already been used from this POI. But it does end up taking that high. So you could have taken a win if you don't follow that same rule that I follow. And then within that same hour, if we just let this play out, price ends up coming a bit lower into a bunch of fair value gaps, and it reacts quite nicely with a pretty strong IFVG, which does end up reversing to the upside quite strongly. But again, I would not take this because I would consider the POI already used. But yeah, if you do not follow that rule, you could have had 2 nice wins on this 1 hour. But I would prefer to stick to my rule of only using POIs that have not been used up already. And then lastly, I just want to go over this trade I took a few hours ago on today's Asia session, which ended up being a win. It's slightly different than what we normally trade, but I'll show you why. Okay. So 8 p.m. candle closes strongly through this virgin wick, creating your bullish point of interest. So then from 9 p.m., let's go down to the 1 minute time frame. And see what happens. Okay, that's really messy. So we end up, okay, boom, POI has been engaged. I'll just manually draw out the fair value gaps because it's a lot cleaner this way. So we've got a 5-minute FVG here, and there was a 15-minute one here as well, there. So these are your high time frame FVGs, which we have tapped into one of them, and now we've tapped into both of them. So at this point, we had everything that I was looking for. POI had been engaged, its powers had not been used yet. We had tapped into multiple high time frame fair value gaps. So I was looking at either a inverse fair value gap or a change in state of delivery, because just something I've noticed from the last few days and just a bunch of testing is it seems like the higher time frame narrative is more important than the actual entry model. It's like, as long as you've got that direction right, entry model isn't that important. It's just a function to get you into the trade. So here I was looking for either an IFVG or a SysD. I don't think I'll go over what a SysD is in this video. It will take too long, but you can learn it. Maybe watch a T-Trace video. He explains it really well. But essentially, where is it? Let's see. Okay, so for a confirmed SysD, so this was the last swing low that was taken out. Let me just move these so it's cleaner. This was the last swing low that was taken out, and so it was taken out by these consecutive down candles. And so the opening of the highest consecutive down candle is your SysD level. So that is where I entered. I put my entry there at the SysD, stop at the lows, targeting 2R. And yeah, it almost hit my stop. Yeah, it's funny. When it was this low, I was like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I just closed my charts, logged off completely, and just went for a walk. And then checked back a few minutes later, and it ended up smashing the TP. And that was my 2R win for today. So, yeah, let's see if there's actually an IFVG here. There is a small one, actually. Yeah. If you can see that, a tiny one there as well. So yeah, IFVG would have worked there as well, I guess. But yeah. That's it for today. I hope you liked that one. See you next time.